It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Hey, today I want to talk about CompuCom and Office Depot. What a train wreck that turned out to be. Without any further ado, let me jump on my Sharp Interactive board. So, folks, you can see here that Office Depot sold CompuCom for $305 million. They paid $1 billion for it in 2017. So basically, the headline really should read, "Oh my God, we just lost $695 million," plus all the money they lost while they owned them since 2017. They just spent like $10, $12 million cleaning up a malware incident. So it's been a disaster. It's been a big train wreck. Everybody would agree with that. So I think our industry needs to learn from this. You know, last year when Staples said they wanted to buy Office Depot, but they wanted Office Depot to get rid of their services business, they were talking about CompuCom. I did a video and I said, okay, if you're in the print sector, this is an alarm bell because investors don't believe that the print sector can sell IT services. Because why wouldn't Staples want Office Depot to keep CompuCom and then take CompuCom and give that to Dex Imaging to put on top of that print deliverable, and they could deliver more broader services into the B2B market? It seemed logical, made a lot of sense, right? But Staples said, no, we don't want the services business. You know, when I made the prediction that either Staples or Office Depot would buy a mega dealer, what I envisioned is nothing of what I see is going on. Staples and Dex Imaging, well, you know, they're in their third year of this getting ready to start, right? They're getting ready to start their fourth year. And I'm going to make another prediction. I predict either this year or early next year, Staples will divest themselves of Dex Imaging. This is fantastic news for Dex Imaging because the Doyles could pick up their company probably for 30, 40 cents on the dollar. I believe that Staples wants to buy Office Depot and do the same thing that Kmart and Sears tried to do. Maybe they think they're smarter and they can do it better. But I don't believe, that's what they want to do. And Sycamore Partners, a private equity group that owns Staples, you know what? Maybe that's what they think. Let's just do this. Get rid of the services business. Go ahead, Staples, divest yourself of that. I mean, if Office Depot was willing to walk away from their deal, they paid $1 billion, ended up selling $305 million. I'm not sure what Staples paid for Dex Imaging, but if they could buy it back for 30 or 40 cents on the dollar, I'm sure they'd do it. So that's something I'm just throwing out there. We'll see what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, we can learn from this, and we better learn from it. Do you believe that when Office Depot and CompuCom got together in the conference room to start that deal off, what do you think they said to each other? I'll tell you what they said. I mean, if you were a fly on the wall, you know what they said. "Oh, Office Depot, we're so grateful that you're buying us. This is so awesome. We're going to be able to sell our IT services to all of your customers." And then Office Depot's over there. "Yeah, we have such great relationships with all of our customers. And we're going to be able to sell your IT services. Plus, we're much better at selling, you know, and training and sales. So, you know, you guys are just, you know, IT companies. They don't really sell good. They just deliver services. But you put us together, we're going to hit some home runs. We're going to knock it out of the park. Amen to this. Oh, this is going to be awesome." That's probably what they said, right? I don't think they got together and said, yeah, by the, you know, in 4 short years, we're going to wipe out $695 million from our investment that we paid for you. In the meantime, we're going to have malware incidents, probably cost us 10 or 12 million. Every year we're going to lose money. It's going to be a total disaster, a train wreck. But let's do it. I think they went with scenario A, don't you? So who else went with scenario A? I think about our friends over at Konica Minolta when they got together with All Covered. What do you think the conversation was? "Hey, you guys are the greatest salespeople in the world. You got all these customers. We're so glad you're picking us up, Konica. This is so exciting for All Covered. Press releases were so glorifying. Oh, this is going to be so wonderful." But in all reality, what really happened? What really happened, folks? All Covered is still selling IT services. The print salespeople always struggled with this. We all know it. I'm not making stuff up here, folks. Just ask anybody that works at Konica. So the bottom line is, what happens when Konica does get rid of their direct operations? Because I truly believe that they will. What happens to All Covered? Does it end up kind of like Office Depot and the way they got rid of CompuCom? Does Konica Minolta get rid of All Covered in that same way? I'm just asking the question. What happens to the assets that All Covered bought? I think about that ERP system, and I've talked about this thing before, but you know, a lot of people believe that, you know, Konica Minolta bought Forza so they could sell an ERP system, the document imaging channel. That's not why they bought Forza. That's not why I think they bought Forza. Maybe if that's the case, they could say it in the comments. But I think they bought Forza because they wanted the SAP B1 licensing. SAP doesn't just give away that nonchalantly, and it's expensive. And MWAI, had private equity money in there that invested, got them to this SAP licensing. That's what Konica wanted. But I think we should ask more about that story. Did that private equity group just walk away for millions of dollars? Because after 10 or 12 years, it wasn't penetrating the imaging channel. It wasn't really accomplishing what they thought it would. I'm asking the question. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I assure you, going forward, I don't care if you're an OEM. I don't care if you're an IT services company. If you're a dealer that's doing $2 million a year, if you're a dealer that's doing $300 million a year, the one thing you're going to have to do, like you've never done before, is control your damn cost and eliminate anything that's not profitable. And start facing realities on the things that you bought that you thought you would be able to deploy. If you can't deploy it and you can't deploy it profitably, you're going to get rid of it. Because you're not going to be able to float the note, if you will. The investors are starting to say, wait a second. And more of the investors are going to start saying, wait a second. Show me the money. Show me the reality. And I think we could all learn from what happened over there at Office Depot and CompuCom. It is a lesson. And hopefully you all pay attention to it. Because everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.